The South African Reserve Bank has warned of dire consequences should the country face censure due to its stance on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, this comes as the country prepares for the BRICS summit later this year. Let's chat to Dr. Rashad Cassim, the Deputy Reserve Bank Governor, who joins us live now. Thank you so much, Dr. Cassim, for your time. Some have said, just had a conversation with one economist who's watching, of course, developments around what is happening with foreign policy and all of that. And they say that this warning by the SARB was totally unexpected. What raised alarm bells for the central bank when it comes to issuing this warning?
Thank you, Bongiwe. The warning is part of a package of warnings. The SARB comes out twice a year with a report called the Financial Stability Report, almost a kind of twin report to the inflation report. And the warning really is about ensuring that the South African financial system remains intact. So when we say that there are a number of risks that we are worried about, this includes the prospect of secondary sanctions. It includes the prospect of the grid, our electricity grid under strain. It includes the impact of global inflation. So it is not, we're not specifically singling out secondary sanctions. We're saying that the financial system is under enormous stress. One of the consequences of secondary sanctions is that some of our traditional investors take particular positions, and if they don't see South Africa as non-aligned, they begin pulling out some of the important investments in the country.
And in that regard, then, how bad could things get, in practical terms, particularly when you look at, the SWIFT system, for example, and just how, as you say, some of the investors are concerned about this. So how bad can it get for the economy?
Well, I guess the living example at the moment is Russia. It is very difficult to make global payments through the global payment system. You've referred to SWIFT. It is very difficult to access funding, particularly hard currency funding, whether it's the dollar, whether it's the euro or the pound. So South Africa has negligible trade links with a country like Russia, but has major links, significant links with the European world, the Western world, and I think that it becomes increasingly difficult. It becomes difficult for banks to clear payments with their counterparts in foreign countries. So it really puts the financial system under enormous strain.
Does it also put, some of our institutions under strain? For example, you think about some of our financial institutions. Should a move like this then be made, and how much scrutiny they may find themselves under?
Bongiwe, the financial system in South Africa is very resilient. Banks are very resilient. We have a well-supervised financial system. We have good what we call non-banks like insurance companies and so on. I think that the strain that banks or the financial system may feel is not necessarily just secondary sanctions. It's the state of the economy.
Yeah.
It's the role of load shedding. It's the fact that we've now been grey listed with FATF. So it's a combination of factors. The report really talked about all these factors, not just the secondary sanctions. And
I know, of course, with this being quite a lot of talk around, load shedding and how much impact will that have as well when it comes to economic growth, and the Reserve Bank governor talking about this issue quite at length. When it comes to the resilience, though, Deputy Governor, let's talk about how much, though, of a resilience does this economy have left in it, or can we no longer afford any further storms?
Yeah, we are in a rather desperate situation. It is not tenable to have a country like South Africa with an unemployment rate well over 30%, to have the current growth rates we have Our growth estimates for this year is 0.2%. We know historically the only way you begin to make a dent on the unemployment rate is to have the economy growing at about 4 or 5% a year. And one of the ways in which one can achieve this is to kind of ensure that there's confidence, ensure that investment is picking up. But at the moment, the combination of difficult global economy as well as load shedding has made investment really difficult.
And especially when you listen to some talk of stage 8 or possibly how difficult things might get, during the winter months. But the Rand reaching another low today, how concerned is the Reserve Bank by this? So that's a real worry, because what a depreciated Rand does, it does two things. One, it tells those investors who've put money in South Africa in local currency that we're running we're losing money, and that sets off a bit of a concern where investors want to pull out their money when in fact we need money. The second problem is that a depreciated Rand contributes to inflation. It makes the job of the central bank or the Reserve Bank much harder. It makes imports more expensive. Food prices go up. There is another side to the coin, another silver lining, that there is some positive effect of a depreciated Rand. It encourages some exports. It encourages foreign tourism activity in the country and so on. But it is a real concern. Getting the Rand right, no one can determine that, but we all know that the Rand is very undervalued currently, and it should be a bit stronger. Dr. Cassim, I do appreciate your time this afternoon, and one hopes when we speak next time it would be under different circumstances. I'm sure South Africans are dying for some good news, just to really just lift up the mood. But that was Dr. Rashad Cassim, the Deputy Reserve Bank Governor.